Urban Renewal Agency. First item, to accept the minutes of our June 1st meeting. Moved by Mr. Kosher, second by Mr. Ferrari. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes stand adopted. Next item is resolution 2015-05, transferring 2 properties back to the city of Schenectady. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Kosher, second by Ms. Perazzo. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution's adopted. Any other business come before the agency? Entertain a motion to adjourn. Second. Moved by Mr. Kosher, second by Ms. Perazzo. All in favor?
Aye.
Agency stands adjourned. Thank you.
Son of a gun. You got out of it.
Still got it on our minute.
We didn't even get a chance, did we?
All right, I'm going to call to order City Development and Planning. Take one item out of order, and that's item number 6. Anyway, Ms. Porterfield, do you want to address this?
Yes. Reverend Grigsby wanted to come to us just to discuss his plans for installing a fence near the second food pantry, just for information. Go down that.
So we can get you on camera.
The letter is in your packet, and basically, since the time, as you know, our food pantry is 839 Albany Street, and that includes the entire parking lot. And then with your assistance, we purchased the traffic division building. And by the way, if you have a chance to stop in St. Joseph's Place, where we've renovated that entirely, so glad to give you the $20 tour someday. But we now own, both of those properties. And since the traffic division has left, it's really not in the city's interest to keep up the driveway to the back. And also, there's been more security concerns with fewer officers around at that point, as you might not be surprised. And so we just wanted to provide information about a plan to basically fence off the back using principles of crime prevention through environmental design to try to limit the flow of people that are in the area, because a particular area of concern is after hours. When the pantry is not open, or the people are not at St. Joseph's Place. And I wanted just to inform you, because that'll be a big change after about, how long has that been open? 40, 50, so I don't know, I'm not from here, so people could say. But if you drive up that driveway now, you'll see it's basically impassable because of the number of potholes. And you guys have many other potholes to worry about besides those, so I think I wouldn't worry about fixing that up, but that would effectively stop the flow through both for vehicles and for pedestrians. And I think when Councilwoman Porterfield and I were there, just raised a concern too is about what happens, it's not our property, but what happens to the other side. Because that is now city-owned property, it becomes an empty driveway. I just wanted to raise the issue for you before it became a problem later, because it might be a concern about what gets done with that property. And otherwise, I think the letter speaks for itself. I'm certainly glad to answer any questions. We intend to hire a professional contractor. Haley Brothers has been working well with us to provide the most reasonable estimate. It would just be a basic chain link fence. It would probably have to be repaired at least once when somebody tries to drive through it. But we'll put signs either side that say no exit, and hopefully people will rather readily see that that's not a way to go through. But the chief has been aware of security concerns, and we're working closely with various people on trying to both restrict access for there and then go accordingly. But the question is what happens with the other property. I don't know if you want to say another word, Councilman.
Any questions or comments, Ms. Perazzo?
Yeah, well, you said the chief is, you've been speaking to the chief. My question is it ever used by public safety vehicles, right? Because the block is long. So is the cut-through used also as a cut-through when there are public safety concerns? Just something
At this point, any public service vehicle going through it would need new shock absorbers by the time they get done. The potholes are that bad. You really cannot go through it at any pace and speed.
Yeah. So have both chiefs weighed in on this, just being aware of the situation?
The police chief was there, he was aware of it, I don't know if he's informed the fire chief, but at this point, it's simply a convenient, walkway or driveway for some people who don't want to go either way,
Right.
but I have not seen any other official vehicles go through it since the traffic division was gone.
Ms. Porterfield?
I know that the police may go there from time to time, but it's not something that the fire department would use just because of what it is. And
Paramedics.
I've never seen that happen just because, because there's many pedestrians going.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, my concern was that it's a fence off the one side, the other side is the city's property, and now becomes a vacant lot to, who knows, what the creative things that could happen there. And then does that mean that we as a city need to block off the other side so it does not become a place? It's adjacent to this lot where currently there's a garden.
Right.
So it's those two lots together that we discussed, 822 last day, I think it is.
Yeah, 822 is where the house used to be,
Right.
824 is where the driveway is.
Right. So, what's our responsibility once that part of it gets blocked off? Is the question I had when I
Right.
brought it up for discussion.
Ms. Brazo?
Good conversation to have, but technically, is it Sycam's property and they can do anything they want as long as they're within the code of the city?
In terms of our
Their
side.
property abuts up to the city-owned
Right.
property,
Right,
so they're
so
just
say-
talking about their...
Right, so I mean, it's a good conversation to have, thank you,
Yeah.
but I mean, technically,
Yeah,
when
technically,
it comes
you
right
can-
down to it, he can just put up a fence.
Exactly, you just
Oh,
need
yeah.
to get a permit for that, and that's all.
But
Yeah, we can apply with a permit. I think it just raised another question about what the red flag to give a heads up to the city. What does the city might want to do to forestall any difficulty on the other side
Yeah,
when that occurs?
and we'll be discussing that property and claims, so...
again, it's just so that we know, a lot of times people do things with properties that affect the city's property and never makes us aware. Making us aware that this is going to affect our property.
Right.
And do we want to do anything so that it doesn't become a problem before it becomes a problem?
Right.
Okay, any other comments, questions?
Okay, well, thank you for
Thank you.
listening. Thank you for fitting me.
Okay. All right, then we might as well continue with CD&P. Item number 1 is a ceremonial resolution for Tammy Lence, who's been with Laz Parking for 15 years. I think you probably all know Tammy. She's got a lot back over here. Okay, Ms. Porterfield will move it. Second by Mr. Ferrari. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then the property sales will be done in executive session, so at this point I'll entertain a motion to recess city development and planning.
Move it.
Okay, moved by Mr. Ferrari, second by Ms. Porterfield. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'll call to order finance. We have a 2015 budget reallocation, update on fuel usage and the fuel usage and adjusting budget lines. Ms. DeNova?
Thank you. What you have before you is a request to make certain budget reallocations within our general fund. And this is the result of work that was started with Tom Capoli back in early 2014, late 2013. The city has a fuel monitoring system that we have taken steps to move more, to use the system at a more discrete level so as to actually record costs in the departments that the vehicles that are using the fuel actually are being used for. Tom had started that a while back, and then other priorities came up, so I started working with him again a little while ago. And what you see here is the results of his working. I think Floyd Slater was also helpful, and they reprogrammed the system so as to recognize the cars and collect the data at the department in which the cars reside. Water, sewer, golf, those were all fine, so these changes are just moving from fuel lines in the various departments in the general fund to the right places.
Questions, comments?
How about second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, anything else to come before finance?
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Sure.
Call to order Health and Recreation. Authorize the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Operations Front Street Pool, the YWCA. Jeremy Howard.
Hey, everybody.
This is more of an FYI. We're going to enter into an agreement which we already put into the budget last year. So we're just looking to just give you the FYI that the contracts will be finalized and we'll be entering into those for this year's agreement for Quackenbush, Hillhurst, and Central Park for Boys and Girls Club, and the YWCA for Front Street.
Questions, comments?
One question, the opening hours for the Front Street pool.
They open July 6th, and they're open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
And those hours will be posted on our website, and also you can call 382-5151 for more information on our pool opening hours.
And these go across for all the pools, 11 a.m. to 6, or just?
They vary.
Varies?
They vary, yes, because each one is run by a different entity. Central Park has its own, it has family swim, also has swimming lessons. Quackenbush, Hillhurst also have swimming lessons, no family swim, so they're both kind of working.
Okay, thank you.
The Front Street hours, because Tony Manhole always asks, what are they going to be?
Oh, that's,
11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Oh, that's Front Street?
Yes, that's the one, yeah.
This air conditioner, we got to can these
Yeah.
things at some point, and get some quiet ones. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Okay, first of all, I'd like a motion on number 1.
I'll move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
and on number 2.
I'll move it.
Second? Second?
Yeah, one of us.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Final consideration, amendment to Chapter 86 of the Schenectady City Code regarding the Parks and Recreation Administration. So, this is on. Do you want to discuss this, Mr. Howard?
yeah.
Okay, so, all right, the Center City Bureau, which used to be there, is no longer there, so essentially we're just deleting this from the city code, Chapter 86. That's what's going on.
We're 86
You were 86 and 86,
Let's say
yeah.
86, that works.
Right.
I see no reason not to. Center City is obviously null and void. We don't do the same things that we used to do there, so I think we should move forward. I can't give you much background information, I do apologize.
That's all right, we have no one speak at the public hearing, so.
Oh, that's even better.
Are there any questions?
I'll move it.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Is there anything else to come before Health and Recreation?
Yes, question, I missed Mr. Paterni's meeting that he had, I guess, Tuesday of last week?
Yes.
Another event. Can you give us a little information on it, anything we share with the council? And
I have
what is our
not-
time frame?
I have not gotten feedback from Mr. Paterni as of this day. I know that the meeting happened, I know that they completed all of their work, but I haven't had the final report, I have not received that.
Can we get on the agenda for 2 weeks? Because summer's already here, if we have to order anything, I mean, this is all with parks equipment.
Well, I know that they will be meeting with the mayor's office to work through all of that. So, I'm sure we can put it off for 2 weeks, but in the meantime, they will be continuing to work.
I understand that, but it's already June, and then July will be, and then August, and the summer will be over.
But they will
So-
continue to work, so it's
I
not like they're
understand.
stopping work because,
Correct.
so we can definitely put it on for 2 weeks to update you on
See where we are, and if we're moving along on any of these particular projects.
I'm sure we are.
All right, very good. That's what I'm looking for.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, we're adjourned.
I'd like to call to order Public Service and Utilities. We have one item on the agenda. It's to award the bid and contract to EJUSA for the manhole covers and frames. I'll see Mr. Wong here. Mr. Janot.
Mr. Wallen was unable to make the meeting, so he asked for me to present this to you. As the background information states, yearly routine maintenance, the city goes out and puts a request out for manhole covers and frames and catch basin frames and grates. That was done via the Gazette and our BidNet process. 12 firms downloaded the bid, but only one bid came through, and that came from YWCA for the amount shown within, slightly under $42,000.
Is YWCA who we've used in the past? Are we familiar with them, or?
Yes.
The one bid concerns me, so.
Yes, it is I did ask Chris that, and he said it was the firm that we've used in the past. I really, will be honest, forthright with you, I don't really have much detail other than to know that we did go out competitively, and there were the 12 firms that did download the information and had all the specs, and this is the one bid that was received.
Okay.
Any other questions? Looking for a motion? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Anything else to come before public service and utilities?
One other thing is, I think I wasn't able to put our request to have on the agenda for today, because the council would entertain. We had two bids we put out for building demolitions a couple weeks ago, at the beginning of June. One of them came back, and the council awarded the bid last week. And for the other one, given there were some issues with the bid from a contractor provided some language on asbestos remediation that got left out of the bid and provided to us after the bid went out. So we were looking at whether we could do that bid, knock down those properties, what would require a change order. So after taking an extra week to look at everything, what I'm recommending to the council now is to reject all the bids that we received. We received 4 bids for this project, and we'll put the bid out again with all the updated language so we can get these houses knocked down.
Any other questions?
No, that sounds wise.
I just want to clarify, so we left something out of the bid information.
We did something a contractor provides to us, it's a technical asbestos mitigation specs. So it looked like one part building wasn't going to need any asbestos remediation, which is very expensive, and instead it required a lot of it. So when they saw that that's what it was, they said, well, we're going to need a change order for this. We looked at if we could remove that one property, but there were some technical issues that limited us from being able to do that. So the easiest thing to do is just reject all the bids, put it out there again, and get the most competitive price.
Motion,
Makes sense. Yeah. I'll make a motion.
Motion on the floor?
Yes.
Second.
All in favor? Any other business to come before public service and utilities?
Sorry. I have a question. What is our time frame? What's the bid process like? You know, does that push us back 2 weeks, 3 weeks? We're getting these properties down?
We'll put it out next Tuesday after this formally goes out. We'll take bids for 2 weeks, and then the first batch of building, I believe the time frame is having down by the end of July, so this will push that out by a few weeks. But it'll give us a chance to get around the properties cleared, the historic preservation program we're going to go through. So it'll push these specific ones out a little bit. We have planned going out with a lot of properties over the summer.
Yes, Ms. Porter.
So could the bidders come back at some point to say, because they did submit their bids based on what we asked, and the one picked up the fact that they made a change order, could they come back that these in fact were good bids based on what we put out there? Or would there not be any problem with us rejecting all bids?
There's not any problem with rejecting all bids. They could come back and say anything, and I've had a lot of discussion with a lot of the bidders on this, but this is a safe legal move to take in order to make sure we can get all 5 of those houses knocked down for the best price.
Because otherwise, I would assume we're risking change orders with the other contractors too. If there's extensive asbestos abatement needed that they were totally clear on, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, a couple of these bids came in very close, and so if you immediately do a change order, let's say we get them found, the other person who lost like $3,000 would come back and say, I would have done this for less, and it just doesn't look as right.
Yep.
Any other business?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I need to, before you do, I need to reconvene city development and planning because I missed an item that we have to do in public session, and that's accepting the 2 properties from SURA. entertain a motion for that.
Second.
Okay, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now I'll entertain a motion to recess. City Development Plan. Okay.
Before we recess,
Yep.
it's not here, but could we put on the agenda for the, I think it came under city development and planning, and Mr. Wallen was here 2 weeks ago to bring us the information about the Area Boulevard project and the MWP report that he sent out to all of us. Can we put that on for 2 weeks to discuss that? Thank you.
So again, the second motion?
Yes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
We call the Claims Committee, and a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to recess claims.
Okay, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and I'll reconvene city development and planning while we're in executive session for property sales.
There's a lot going on.
Yes. Yeah, we're executive session.